For me, Chanel has always been more than a fashion house. It feels like a visual language built on elegance, boldness, and freedom. Chanel proved that luxury is not about glitter or excess. It is about creating a style that never loses its relevance. The story begins in 1910 with Gabrielle Coco Chanel. She entered the world of fashion with a completely different vision of beauty and comfort. She started with a hat shop in Paris and soon moved toward clothing design. What has always fascinated me is how the Chanel revolution began as a rebellion against the strict and uncomfortable rules of fashion at the time. The interlocking double C, created in the early 1920s, has remained almost unchanged. This stability helped Chanel maintain a strong and unmistakable identity. What I find truly interesting is that every new creative director has managed to add their own voice to the brand without erasing its original spirit. The transformation of Chanel began when Coco decided to break fashion conventions in the 1920s. She introduced simple and relaxed silhouettes that freed women from years of restrictive clothing. In my view, this moment stands among the most important turning points in the history of modern fashion. In 1921, Chanel took its first major step onto the global stage with the launch of Chanel No. 5. The fragrance became an instant icon and opened a completely new chapter for the brand. It was more than a commercial success. It helped define the personality of Chanel as something timeless and unmistakably sophisticated. The house continued to grow through the following years with innovative designs and a unique approach to elegance. But the arrival of the Second World War forced Chanel to significantly reduce its activities. This period marked one of the brand's first major challenges, a time of silence and uncertainty. The year 1954 marked an important comeback. Coco Chanel returned after years away from the fashion world and tried to revive the brand. Although her return was not fully embraced at first, it proved that Chanel had never lost its resilience or creative fire. After Coco's death, the brand entered another difficult chapter. Without its founding visionary, Chanel struggled to redefine its direction and for a while lacked a clear identity. This became one of the toughest moments in its history. Things changed dramatically in 1983 when Karl Lagerfeld took over. He breathed new life into Chanel, respected Coco's legacy, and reshaped it with modernity and bold creativity. From my own perspective, this era represents one of Chanel's greatest rebirths. It transformed the house into a cultural force recognized around the world. Over the next decades, creations like the 2.55 and the classic flap became essential symbols of the brand. These pieces turned Chanel into a cultural and economic powerhouse with lasting influence. A new chapter opened in 2019 when Virginie Viard, after many years working alongside Lagerfeld, became creative director. Her approach was softer and more practical while still honoring the essence of Coco Chanel. She offered a new interpretation for a new generation. Yet this era was not without debate. Some believe Chanel needed to take bolder creative risks, a conversation that intensified until Viard's departure in 2024. For many, this signaled the beginning of an uncertain but potentially transformative period in the brand's journey. In the end, the story of Chanel is a sequence of rises and challenges, from Coco's groundbreaking vision to Lagerfeld's revival to the quieter modern era shaped by Viard. What keeps Chanel alive through every shift is its ability to evolve without ever losing its core spirit, a blend of freedom, authenticity, and innovation. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more brand stories.